G'day, today we're going to have a look at the weekly challenge in Mini Motorways. We've only got 1 day left on this one, so the leaderboard will be pretty close to what it looks like at the end. Houses and destinations can appear anywhere. Sometimes that can be very fun. No motorways are offered. That's going to make things a little bit trickier. Can't destroy trees, and there's more of them. Alright, well, with a lack of motorways, that could also be a nice little challenge. Well, at least they're being generous for our initial Tokyo build here. If we're going to get any houses in like the immediate blocks here, so say those 5 around the entrance, that will almost be that place can run till the end without issue. If they get 2, then they could be circular and they would be able to make it to the end. So fingers crossed we get some very lucky placement. I do enjoy these ones just for the way that the map just looks so scattered at the end, that if you can survive to late game in this style, you've just got colors absolutely everywhere. Not the most ideal placement, that one. Now we'll flip back around this way then. You'll have to sort of scooch through there. The problem that I have with this is I'm actually knocking out some pretty prime real estate, not just for... which I suppose we've got to go that way. Not just for yellow, but for blue. If I can get a blue or a yellow house in those 4 squares, that'd be great. So I'm going to leave that open and just force this guy to go a little bit longer. That's almost as close as you want. The only problem is that there's something in the way right there that is killing the dream. Alright, well let's swing this guy around there. And we'll get this guy to go up and around the top. Again, it's placement of just being blocked here to get over there. So we've gotten some quite nice close placement so far. It's just we haven't been able to take advantage of it. Well, that's not beneficial to anyone. That's the other end of the stick of this. I wonder if you play this one again, how frequent the placement is. A lot of times when you play the weeklies, you might notice that if you go a second time, you do get the destinations arriving basically the same spot, unless you like actively block where they're going to go. So I do wonder that with a level like this, where it's just random where the houses are going to go, if it's just a lot more random where sort of things will spawn. Alright, so again, this poor guy's going to have to go all the way around these trees to get in there. There is a bit of a suggestion here that I think that we're going to need. We actually might need traffic lights for this. Because of just the way that these houses aren't going to sort of be in communities, we're going to see probably a few more intersections about. There. As far away as possible. I'm going to keep taking bridges though, because we're about to have to use... Oh, there we go. Now that is a guy... that is a guy that should be right to run till the end. We're certainly rooting for this guy to go circular, because he will last a very long time with that setup. If he gets a second house in here, then yeah. Shoot him out, declare him a victory. Blue's not sitting in the greatest of spots. Remembering as well that we're not going to get any motorways here. This guy is sitting in a very sort of awkward spot to see if we get more housing. Like I said, it's in here is really where we want to see a blue house or 2 show up. Even on the island, we're starting to get enough bridges that we can use that. Almost enough bridges that we could swing this guy actually up around the other way. And I will, because of the real estate that opens up again. Again, if we can get a yellow house in one of these 2 blocks, perfect. Let's try and open it all up. Let's... Alright, well, we've got him there, so I'm going to turn this guy around. And they're going to have to go the long way around to get in. I don't like them having that sort of sharp turn to get in. I prefer them to sort of smoothly roll around it. Even trying to use this guy to get to here. This house is fully blocked off that path. I mean, that's circular there now, so let's just give him to that one. Because that's a bridge, I can't have this guy go around him and end up over there. So, not the best of placements that we're seeing so far. Real random. I mean, it's all going to be random. I guess now that the map's so much bigger, I'm going to see these guys just arriving anywhere. I really look forward to getting a weekly that is the random placement as well as unlimited tiles. In fact, if you see that as a daily challenge, feel free to comment on any of my Motorways videos, letting me know that's there. Hopefully I'm responsive enough that I can jump in and have a go of it before it goes away, because I really want to do some, I think it'd be fun to experiment with and see if you can do enough blocking to successfully just sort of like, say, block everywhere and then just leave that little grid in front of the buildings and get everyone to have super close houses. Definitely had mixed luck with blocking. Alright. So this guy's circular, but that guy's circular as well. So let's... That's the gap that this guy's going to have to cut through. So what we'll do is we'll run him down there, run this guy up. Again, moving him up to hope to maybe get some blue houses in there. Then what we'll do is we'll just do that weird little flick around. This guy, we're going to give him the direct route. And we will go in that way. It's not too bad. We don't need the road tiles at this point, and I mean, the longer we go on, the sort of cleaner that should become, so should be right. Yeah, these yellow houses in here are now sort of become no man's land. So with these 2 guys, we'll run them down. Try and use just the one bridge. Again, let's swing them slightly further out in the hopes of getting a blue somewhere in there. This guy's gone circular, and his other houses are all scattered over this way. Alright, well, that's not too bad to get. That green, we can at least... Well, we've got a ton of green to get to him. That's a great pickup there. There's one of those blue houses we were after. Actually, tricky choice there, because we can we could send him north. Which one was I looking at? This guy could actually go up to there, and now he's the closest house to this circular one, which seems slightly more important than the square one he's attached to. The problem is that we can't give an exchange. Like, if we take him off this guy down here, where are we getting the other house from for him? That's not too bad. Orange seems very, like, needy and needing a friend to share a destination with. I realize that normally I use roundabouts to help me get motorways in to connect to cities, but I don't even have motorways, so they're not really as useful as that. Which does make me think that I should just be using them. But again, like, they take up space where I could otherwise get houses, because I can get houses anywhere, that maybe I shouldn't be opting for them over traffic lights. Let's start the traffic light revolution. Every time you hear another house come in, it's really hard to sort of pick. Like, you don't know where it's showing up, because there's houses showing up everywhere of every different color, so very easily in this one I'm going to miss houses that are going to be in very good position. Still hanging out to move this guy. Completely he should be going to this guy. Maybe what we do is that. We've still got 3 bridges, so we cut... No, sorry, we keep that. We cut that. And we have him come down. And notably, we have him come down in the river, because that's a perfect get. We don't even need that guy connected anymore, so we can stop that being an intersection. We have him come down in the river, because then it still leaves those spots available to potentially get. You guessed it, those blue houses that I ever so much want in that central section. Alright, well, this guy here is not really needed anymore. Make the bridge. Get him across there. Oh, he makes that a little bit easier too. Well, there we go. So we don't even need these guys. Let's disconnect all of that. Again, just to try and give this guy room to get, or more available spot to get houses connected. This guy here is not doing too great, so let's get him another crazy connection. You can see here, I've just lucked out on being able to get this guy in there. Random as it is, light blue just does not want to be over here. There we go. Change their ways. Oh, that's a nice get. Alright, we'll get this guy connected, because he is definitely struggling, which is completely understandable since he only had the one house as a circular destination. That's a really nice get too. Let's get some of these in, see how they go. So we'll put one there, we'll put one there. Let's turn him around, get him in there. This pink here definitely needs some help, so let's get this guy to go up. No, it doesn't make sense. Let's go the other way. Let's get him to go down. And then we can treat them to another set of our lights. Yeah, that's killer. This guy's right there. Cool. So there's another blue house that's in real nice position for this guy. He's almost set completely. This is probably as close as we're going to see nowadays. Don't really need that guy connected at the moment with how close his two buddies are. This guy here needs some attention. So does this guy, so at least him is an easy answer. Alright, pause this for a second. Now let's rebuild what we've got going on here. Gonna get rid of all of that, and instead, gonna flick this guy down, have him run through there. He can go help out with that guy, and then from him, we're gonna take this guy. That guy will run there, and then we will run these two guys around the top. This guy's still in need of some orange help, but I mean, it's so far away. It would be these two. We've got an unlimited sort of supply of road tiles at this point. Like 87 will have a set for life. What we could do is, because this orange Oh, there we go. That's much easier sort of fix for that. That should just sort of sort him out completely, I'd say. That pink sort of recovered really nicely. See what I mean too about how much of a really nice looking map this ends up being. Different to all the other ones. Get him along the bottom to go help this guy out because he's struggling a little bit. Keep taking those traffic lights, but we will take bridges over traffic lights, definitely. Imagine this guy down here is not going to be happy for too long. And this guy here is also... Oh no, sorry, he's got the 2 houses, doesn't he? He's got that guy all the way up there. It's not like other maps where we can just sort of build a little community of them and then expect that they're going to all sort of join forces at some point. Not the case here. So what we'll do is we'll cut this, we'll get this guy to face up, he'll run into that, and then we'll get these 2 guys to come down in here. We'll use another one of our traffic lights to go help. It's not a bad get there. Just that he doesn't have like a smooth way to connect to the road. I suppose what we could do is turn that guy, make that sort of tree to get to him. Oh, there we go. There's another nice pickup for this guy. Let's actually use a roundabout for this guy. We'll get rid of that and that. Sorry, we want to keep the road, obviously. And get this guy to just swing in there. I think it's... Oh, I was going to say it's because I've only got 2 of those, but I've actually got 3. But he's the only circular one. So if we have a look, we've got 3 orange, 2 pink, 3 yellow. Maybe pink as well as the other one that's going to... too happy. So again, we're just going to keep our eyes open. We've got some very good greens that we should be using. So let's cut all those guys off this. Just turn those 2 guys up like that. We'll turn this guy down. Let him swing through that way. That's a nice get for this pink. Set up a traffic light there. He should hopefully have enough support already. If he doesn't, we can at least get this one guy bottom in for him. May as well get him in now. There's no harm to it. Again, like I said, you got to scouring the map with a level like this, just making sure that everyone available is doing jobs that we need them to. This guy here is still... Oh, I don't know. It's a hard one to pick. Alright, so with this, what we'll do is we'll turn those 2 guys around, cut that bridge, and then just flip them back the other way. And still give them their bridge. We'll get that guy down there. We'll then get this guy to hop on the other side, and we'll get him to go in there. And that gives our already most housed colour another house. Bridge. I'm amazed at how well this guy's doing with how sort of like the weird range of his houses. We've got this yellow house here. Now, to get him connected, what we're going to have to do is run him, get rid of that, run him. We're going to have to wait for that bridge to go away. Annoyingly. Not annoyingly. Just it's one guy off it. Luckily he's square, so he's not going to throw too big a tantrum. Go like that, and then what we'll do is we'll run them through there. So he's so much closer. We definitely want him being part of that. This guy here, he needs some help. So if we look at available yellow houses. This guy here can't even get through. Like, he's completely blocked off to getting around here. Blue guy could actually go up and connect to this as well, and then we could possibly shift one of these guys down to help out with him, but I mean, he's got no complaints. We've got these two yellow guys on this side, but to get through, they would have to cut across the path of another circular house. I definitely don't like doing. But I mean, if it's at the cost of winning or losing, it's... So let's help everyone out. So we give him that way. So he's now got 5. We then turn this guy and turn him under. These two can then connect, run through. And we'll make that a set of lights. See how that goes. This guy here, we can run him straight across and connect down there. And that would actually probably allow us to take these two guys completely off that network. But again, the only thing I could really do is turn them around into that gap and then pop back through. Was that the sound of someone being unhappy? Who was that? Pink? Alright, firstly let's turn that guy around. Let's get that guy in there too. Alright, what we'll do is we'll just run him straight across. This should be considered one of the backup orange houses for this guy. Oh, cool, well, that's a nice outcome. Got 120 houses, so let's just build some road. Get these guys to go up and up through there. Make that a set of lights. Hopefully this guy going circular and this extra pink down here means that this pink isn't taking as much on. Well, that's a pain for this guy here because he can't get through because of the trees. But what we can do is we can just let this, who is the furthest away of the houses looking after that pink guy, just look around the edge. And just get that guy to join in there too. All of these pinks here, we can actually run and connect down here. The problem with that would be that it is going to get in the way of green and orange. Reconnecting this guy, questionable because it does sort of make a bit more congestion at the top end there, but we do need it. Let's bring that guy in too. 2 circular guys on a single destination is always going to cause crazy congestion. The only... Yeah, here we go. Let's see how this guy goes with his one house at that close range. The thing that he really has going for him, though, is that he... that it's so few houses that are actually looking after these guys. It's guys just taking incredibly short trips to help out. Now, speaking of helping out, this guy is going to start to need a little bit of assistance. This house here can't actually get through because of those trees. So it's possibly this guy that would be who we shift across. Which I'm the biggest fan of because he is the closest house to this one. So our... Oh, okay, that's a tricky result. So the one thing that we've got going for us is that this... Actually, he needs some help too. Just swing that straight up. Oh, there we go. That's one way to resolve problems. Okay. So We can see all of these guys over here are being used. He's not. So let's come around that side, and we've got the availability that let's get just that guy to duck in and help as well. And just want to check what he's connecting to. So it's just light blue and orange. So we can also have this guy. It's the last of our bridges and fling down there too. See, currently these guys aren't leaving just yet. They've just started to. So he's sort of got closer housing. It's very much in a break glass in case of emergency stuff going on there. We don't need bridges to sort of try and jump the two of those guys across, but we can get one. It's just such a long journey that those guys are doing that there are going to be very sort of seldom sort of moments of support. Alright, blue here. It's also need of aid. We've got one blue guy just here that if he cut across this, he's just cutting across the path of one orange pink house. And this is important to make sure that we're not crossing too many different paths. Because it's just yellow there, it's just blue. We don't want to connect, say, blues to blues, yellows to yellows. We don't want people to start trying to use these routes to sort of go different directions. And if we have to cut across too many, that's gonna happen, and we're gonna end up with an absolute mess. There is almost no way to get a second house connected to this. They have to cut through that way, and it would be this guy. So I don't have a bridge. This has cleaned up a lot, so I could potentially cut that bridge now. Although it is a Sunday too, so let's see if we can get bridge. Lovely. So let's turn him around, and we'll just flick him across that way. What we could do, again, we're cutting across other people's roads. Turn those two guys in, and this guy in. They can all go help out there. Again, this guy's already in need again. But you can see that he's not, and unfortunately I can't get this guy to connect there. But you can see that these guys haven't even left the house. So his requirements aren't as bad as they need to sort of like, the furthest away guys that need to start moving. It's just he can't hold his capacity. And again, we are now getting in a very dangerous position of having too many different roads with just sort of like cross sections that we're gonna start to cause ourselves problems. Interestingly, this guy is still running off one house. So if we do that, we can get this guy to go help out. We need to find some light blue to help out here. We flip him up that way. We've also got, we can get one, two connected. I don't like the idea of him getting connected because he's so far back around. Again, we've got so many colors on here that this then becomes very dangerous. Say we face him that way. Well, they have to connect to that, so they can't get around it without connecting to this guy, which would mean this guy would have to share his houses down that way too. Not good. So let's run this around that way, and we'll get this 1, 2 houses. I'm amazed that this guy is starting to really struggle too. His houses are so close. Same goes for this guy here. But I mean, like, you can see everyone's now starting to feel the pinch. We're up over 5,000. That's what happens. This green feels like he's going to be the first one to go. This yellow down here is not looking crash hot either. I can't really shift flame these yellows down here. But what we could do is we could connect this guy here and do that. Cause this to be even bigger a traffic jam, but I think it's too slow to get this guy fixed. A little over 5,000. Well, that's a whole new looking page, isn't it? Not too bad. Let's go to menu. See how that stacks up at the end of the week. Up 1%. Just number 3. That's suspicious on what number 1 did there. Deaf frog chunk. Defrog chunk. Just got me. Anyway, any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. Until next time, catch you later.